Hello everyone, so I am happy to see you again. And today I will talk briefly about the photometric review that we will do or we are doing in Grandma. So this photometric review, sorry, it's a long process. So like you need to take time to do it. It's not an activity that you do like within a day. It's an activity that you do within a month or 2 months and you do it regularly and you exchange with the team is very important. You're not just like, yeah, we'll have a look at the data and never interact with the other from the paper writing team. So you need to know, understand who is your team to interact with, right? Cannot be only me or the program, the program as a chair of the program. Then you need to understand that there are, if you have access to all the sources and you have all the right, and yeah, I suggest that when you assign to be a reviewer, you need to have practice and analyze already some photometric data. You can just like, yeah, I would like to do this. If you would like to do this, then um, I think maybe you need to rerun some of the image to make sure that you understand what is going on in STD pipe web. So, the thing that I would like to tell you is that we're gonna use Skyportal and the wiki, sorry, Skyportal and the wiki for this review, and I will show you how to. So I will share my screen. Yes. Okay, so you need to create this kind of page and put the name of your source. When did you start the photometric review? So it's called review, but it's photometric review, right? So it's not the review of the paper, it's a photometric review of the GRB or out of paper, sorry. You have a paper writing, you need to name the lead of the paper writing team. The chair of the program, so like Patrice for GW, Marion for GRB, and so on and so forth. You will put your name as a reviewer and you will be attached to a photometric expert that is more expert, like must be Sergey or something, someone like this. Then you agree that you are aware about the best practice and so on. So I suggest that you make a mark after you have read all the slides to present this review. So they are very long. There is a video from Dalia that I will put in the post as well. But it's very important to have a look and to do the things carefully because this review validates the data and then is sent to for the modeling. So it's a very, very, very important part. So there are two things to do is to check if everything is up to date on Sky Portal. And the second one is how to validate each point on each filter on the photometry. So for example, you have a general table, and then you have a more precise per bond. Uh, for example, you will put the number of images that you consider as validated. So it's not the number of image or measurements that were imported in Skyportal. For example, maybe you will discard some of the measurement. So it's the offline. You will write a comment and you will check the second column is if it is consistent a data one to another. If you have kept just a useful product, this column is the extension, so it will you can validate once you agree about the extension correction that is made in SkyPortal. And in SkyPortal ready, it means that uh, does the page can be public, like is only to make sure that SkyPortal is clean and there is nothing strange. So then you go one by one on the bond. You have all your telescope's name and keep the data that you have validated that you think that they are good. and you do the same, and you can put some comment on it. And then here is all the tasks that you do, yeah, you need to do per filter. So, for example, you need to mark like what are the catalog used for this image, what is the magnitude system, ABO Vega in SCD Pipe Web. You need to check for all the image if the target is visible, if the star looks like a star, like around it, if you think that there is no static setting issue, you write to put a number of the SNR. So here I forget to remove it. Oops. Then if some, for all the image associated to this bound, if the color term was applied, and then you need to double check three things. So it's a bit expert, but I mean, if you're someone in the review, you need to know what does it mean. But it means like, for example, the image, like there is a source. If the measurement between the first photometry, so measure the photometry at the location of the source, if you detect it, like you don't know that the source is there and you run SAD pipe web and you detect it with either cross mass of the catalogs or with uh, just template subtraction. So there are three ways to have the measurement. This is for photometry, template subtraction, and cross match. And you need to have like some kind of agreement between these three measurements. So this is what you do in the review of the page and you fill it. And to show an example, and I will post it also, you have like what I exactly did for 29A. So you have like who has analyzed the data, who is reviewing. Sorry, so this is the big I mean, for the photometry, okay, optical. So, like exactly like the periods, who is the lead of the paper writing team, my name, photo expert, and then you see I have done ton. For each bond, I have checked all the things. I have put some comments, like I decided to remove T not, etc., etc. I put some picture to show what was good or not, making some screenshot on Skype or two. So this task is not like very easy, but you can do it if you really push yourself hard and you need to be meticulous. For example, sometimes make comments. But again, everything is explained in this big document. So we'll stop the sharing. I think for this session, I have prepared you something. So for the image, so as we say, if we see that there is a source, either you put the coordinates of the source and run force photometry. Be careful that it can be either the photometry you will get is the source or the source plus the galaxy. So you need to subtract the galaxy. Check that the person has subtracted the galaxy. Then number two, you just run the image not knowing where is the source. And normally you need to recover the same photometry as the first one. And the third approach is to make subtraction. So here is not finding a source, uh, detecting something that is not in a catalog, but detecting something because you just have a template of something that was previously observed and you put A minus B. And normally you should detect some transient, the transient, and then you need to double check the problem of the galaxy or the nearby star. So as a reviewer, okay? So in fact, if you are a person that analyzes for the first time the data, it is the same. It is the same, but you as a reviewer, you double check what the person have made. Okay, so there is a question about the filters that I would like to highlight. So review some Sloan filters are kinda easy. So Sloan filter J, little r, little I. because they are matching Panstar, the catalog that we use more, or SDSS. So you're okay. The problem is like for the Justin filter, or even the amateur filters that are very broad, or something like the clear filter, I mean, without filter, because this does not match completely the reference catalog, and this for the review you need to be very, very careful because the data must not be consistent. My second advice will be to really look at the image, just not just scroll, just look at the image, look where is the data, look if the image is ugly, that's why you will ask why it is not consistent with other data around. And please ask, don't be shy, don't be, yeah, Sarah will be angry, just ask, because then it goes through the modeling and then we will have some issue. Okay, so now I go back to Skype Portal because this is where you're gonna interact with Slack, of course, you're gonna make your report on the wiki, but all the data and all the interaction and the measurement are in Skype Portal. So this is my part number 2. So let's go to Skype Portal now, and I will show you some little tips. Again, everything is in this document. But for example, let's take this data. So what you need to check, if I come back, poof, 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 yeah, up. You need to make sure that all Sky Portal is clean. For example, if there is a name, the coordinates, if it is grammar source, if the summary is valid, the like curve. So for example, you're the reviewer, the first thing is to check like, is this coordinate is okay, like, and you can add like, yeah, as a reviewer, check that coordinator okay, or and in the review you cross, you say yes. If there is a T0 and if it is the right T0, okay, so you need to double check. It's not because there is a value that is right, because we don't know who write this value. If the redshift is okay, if this text is okay, right? It's like, because all this information will be public. So if you don't know what means to be okay, you just ask help again. And ask help is to ask to your program chair. Okay, so for example, here is attached to grandma, so this is okay. And then we will come back to the lacquer. So we see, for example, this point. So if I go here, you need to check if it is correctly labelized. Like when it is GCN, the instrument must be GCN. And as a reviewer, you see, you have some validation style, and you can say validate, reject, um, and say not about it. And sometimes you can even be able to delete because you think that it does not break anything to the analysis. So you need to go one by one, filter by filter, check consistency. For example, you can check consistency between GCN and our point. You can check consistency if it is failing or not. And if something is wrong, you ask the paper writing team to rerun the task. Okay. So then it will appear another line and you check which one is right. So here, for example, someone says that, but unit is not because it is validated right now that as a review you will not re-double check. Okay. So this is what you need to do in Sky Portal, and when you're happy, then all the things need to be crossed or validated, and when it is you're finalized, you remove all the data with the cross. The author, the astronomer author that will be, the observer that will be author, or only the one that will have a validation. Again, please, when it is crossed right now, until there is no review, you need to do it again, right? And you can add something like Nana review it, right, which is not true. If you don't have your rights, it means that you need to ask me to give you the right. Okay, so if I come back to Sky Portal, it is a place to interact with the observer because if you ask to rerun some observation, you ask that they download the data in SkyPortal. Don't use a Google Doc or something. Just look SkyPortal because you see the light curve and it's very nice. This is where also that you can download the file at any time for the modelers or for anyone. So they need to be adapt the team that will use the data to modelize the physics. It's in SkyPortal. So never send some file that are on your computer. You just need to send exactly download the data from SkyPortal. It is forbidden to do something else. Yes, and this is where you annotate the things. Okay, so I think you got it. I don't have other comments. Just read, ask question. It is quite difficult, but it will help you to learn a lot about the photometry as well. Okay, so bye bye. Have a nice day, and see you soon.